Hello everybody, welcome back to the Backlogged channel. I'd like to again preface, just like I have the last few videos or live streams I've made on the main channel and the Backlogged channel, I am still sick, so if I sound different or wrong or something like that, or stuffy or congested, it's because I am. I'm not feeling very great, but there's way too much Nintendo news going on to not make videos on it, so believe me, once I'm done making these videos, I'm gonna go rest again, so that way I can get better by the time the April 2nd Direct happens. But, man, there's so much going on right now. Also, another thing I'd like to preface, if you hear any super loud construction noises going on behind me, it's because there is construction happening right in the other room. My kitchen is getting completely remodeled at the moment, so just if you hear any drills or sanding or anything, I'll try to cut out as much as I can, but I can only do so much. Now, let's finally get into the meat and potatoes of what I'm talking about, and specifically this video. I'm probably going to make a few videos on this topic, but I'd like to, in this video, just do a overview of the final Switch 1 Direct that we just got, chocked full of amazing announcements and showing off some games that have already been announced and just stuff like that. Just a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. They opened the Direct in a kind of interesting way, so very much pushing towards the Japanese audience with Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD, a game that's already been announced. They didn't really show off any more that they haven't showed off already, but I mean, just giving us, I'm pretty sure this is the first time we got a date that it's coming out. It's coming out this year. They didn't say specifically when, but they just said this year. Kind of underwhelming for me. For the Japanese audience, that will go crazy. That game will sell amazing because it is Dragon Quest, obviously. But moving on, a few games after that, a decent amount of games after that. Also, just real quick, I'm gonna skip over things I don't care about, nor I think need to be talked about. And anything that is a big announcement, I am going to talk more about in a separate video. So, sorry if you're coming to this video to hear about my Metroid Prime 4 or, you know, anything else that's a big announcement. I'm not going to talk a whole bunch about them. I'll bring them up because they were part of the Direct, but I will, in a separate video right after this one, I will film that one and post that as soon as possible. So just hold your horses. We will get that one as soon as possible. But moving on from the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD, a few games later, we got Pac-Man. There's like this new Pac-Man game called Shadow Labyrinth, where you're this guy. It looks like an indie game, but it's made by Bandai Namco, and you're this guy, and there's this Pac-Man fellow called Puck following you, and it looks alright. I mean, I guess it's made by Bandai Namco, so you can trust them with a at least halfway decent product. Not a lot to talk about there. I just thought it looked cool. The visuals of it were pretty cool. I like the idea of using Pac-Man as kind of the gimmick of the game. Moving on, there was Patapon 1 and 2, which I assume were games already. I think they said for the DS they were games, and they're bringing them to the Switch in a bundle package, I think for the first time in HD, if I'm not wrong. And they look also, I really like the art style of the game. It seems as if it's going to be a rhythm game, and not a lot to say about that one either. It kind of looks like an indie game again. Then moving on a few games, I think just one actually, in between Patapon 1 and 2 and this game, Metroid Prime 4 finally gets a full 100% trailer. We get to see a lot about the game, where we're going to be, what Samus looks like, stuff like that. Again, I'm going to talk about that more in depth in a single video, so stay tuned for that, but I gotta bring it up. It was one of the most important parts. I'd like to say, at least in this video, the placement of Metroid Prime 4 in the Direct was very weird. It was very straight in the middle in between a bunch of random smaller games. You'd think that they'd either begin or end the direct with this, except for the fact that they ended with a much bigger announcement, I would almost go to say, but you know, and it was an announcement, not just another trailer at the end, so yeah, it makes sense. It just would have made a lot more sense if they showed this trailer for Metroid Prime 4 in the beginning, but we'll talk about that more in another video. Skip another few games announcements. Then we are looking at Pokemon Legends ZA. A little bit more about the game. It looks like I'm not going to talk about this one in a separate video. I've already talked about how I'm not a big fan of the visuals, how the games just look like absolute garbage still. I think I did at least, yeah. And anyways, I am going to buy this game. It looks like they took Legends Arceus and made it better in every way, including the battles, except for the visuals. The visuals, I think, are dipping to a point where they've never been so low for the generation that they are sitting in. And I'm not a big fan of how they just think they can just get away with the bare minimum. They are flattening buildings. They are making the sides of buildings. If you look at sides of buildings from the side, you will see nothing but a flat surface with texture on them. That's it. It's like as if you looked at your wall and there was the popcorn texture that people put on their wall to give it a little bit of texture. You're not even getting that. It's just a flat PNG on a flat wall plane. That's it. And the game itself, I really hope these little sections that the Pokemon are going to be in are more expansive than they're showing in the trailers, because they're looking boring and small and uncreative and just not what they should be. If they're really gonna take the concept of being in a city, they really need to do more with it, I think. And at the moment it looks pretty plain. It's not the first Legends game. You don't need to be basic to get a point across, to get people to understand what the concept is. We've played Legends Arceus. We do not need to relearn how to play a Legends game. Give us a game that is more fleshed out, more creative, more ideas, more places, bigger places, nicer Pokemon areas, stuff like that. Especially nicer graphics. Please. Game Freak. Pokemon is the biggest corporation in the entire world. It has almost $10 billion in revenue to its name. Could we continue to, treat it like so? Pokemon started with their games, not with their cards, not with their anime series, not with their movies, not with their plushies. They started as a game franchise on the Game Boy. Could we please put more attention into the video games that we create, especially into the looks of them. Anyways, that was my short little rant on Pokemon Legends ZA. Let's just move on. Well, before we move on, I do like the day and night cycle situation that they're doing. That's a cool concept to add to it, but again, I don't think it's enough. I will still buy the game and I will still enjoy it because Pokemon Legends games have proven to be very fun, but I just hope they really do have more than they're showing off right now. Moving on, for real this time, a really cool announcement that I instantly pretty much picked up on. A new Rhythm Heaven Fever game, which is amazing. They are making a Rhythm Heaven game, and I mean, it looks great. I mean, they're basic games. I do think they shouldn't put any more than $40 on it when they do release it, because I mean, they're basic games at the core, but it's really nice to see Nintendo just really trying to reach at any successful franchise, even unsuccessful, but specifically successful at some point in their franchise, and just trying to bring back those franchises. It is very greatly appreciated to see all these franchises getting a second chance, and just it's good to see a return of all these really nice franchises that you wouldn't expect to ever come back at any point. Now, moving on, This is also going to be a video of its own. The whole digital game card situation, it is confusing beyond belief, but I think I've gotten it down, the idea of it, and it seems kind of useless, but again, I'll talk more about the details of it in another video. Moving on, the final really big game announcement, something I have been looking forward to, and recently have replayed and gotten my girlfriend, who does not play video games, into playing a video game for the first time ever. This game is known as Tomodachi Life, and they have just revealed a new Tomodachi Life coming in 2026. In a year, a whole new Tomodachi Life, including Mii's, which shows Nintendo is not done with the Mii franchise. I thought Switch Sports having the option of Mii's was going to be the final hurrah of any Nintendo game using Mii characters, and what I think is going to happen in the future, kind of like how it happened for the Switch Miitopia. I think that there's going to be a built-in Mii maker for this new console. I'm assuming the Tomodachi Life, the new one, is going to come out for the Switch 2, and I think there's going to be a Mii maker in this new game. But again, I will talk about Tomodachi Life, the new one, in a new video coming out later. And yeah, the final thing that wasn't a game that got revealed was Nintendo Today, which is basically just going to be a news app for Nintendo, strictly Nintendo news, that is going to start right after the Switch 2 Direct. I assume it's just going to be small little updates and stuff for the Switch 2 and stuff like that. Nothing too big, just a news app for Nintendo. It seems cool. They said they're going to add some extra stuff onto there too, so I assume they're going to make they might put some fan art on there, they might put some comics or unreleased content on there. I don't know. We'll see what that ends up being. And yeah, that was a basic overview of the entire final Switch 1 Direct of all time. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I will see you in the next Backlogs video coming very soon, probably by today. Bye bye.